Hello, everyone. Let's wait till I get everybody in here. Going to. Yeah. Ooh, it's not very bright lipstick, is it? See, I like it. It's moisturizing. What is it? It's this one. It's called Vinyl. It's by Maybelline. This Maybelline. And then I have this one from Revlon, but look at what it does. I mean, it leaks all over the place. It's a beautiful color. It's a great color. It's a clean Kleenex. I'm just showing you the color. It's a really nice color, but it's like a pain in the ass, right? Look at, like I just picked it up, but look at, it's a good color. We're talking about lipstick right now. Watch. See, isn't that a nice color? But now I can't touch anything. Like, don't even go near my lips right now. Very moisturizing. Loved the color. That's why I bought it. But I wouldn't buy this again. This brand at all. I wouldn't buy it again. It yeah, it does. It looks really good on. But it's one that you just, I don't know, you gets everywhere. It just gets everywhere. Um, but that's I'll look for this. It's an ultra HD matte color, but I think I want to find it in a different blend. You know who really makes really nice, but they're very is Chanel. Chanel's lipstick is absolutely fabulous. I had some many moons ago, and it was lipstick that it stays on. Like this doesn't really stay on. It'll get it doesn't, yeah, it gets everywhere. Anyways, that is my critique on lipstick today. I got my eyebrows on today. Look at that. Liz, was that Liz Waiter? I think that's, yeah, her stuff is really nice as well. I have another one. I think this one, Antesia. This is really nice. Whoop. This one here, that's a really nice one too. But anyways, but I go back to this because I like the color. Anyways, did the face today because I do work today. So even look at I'm still wiping it off. Even if you got it on the thing is once you get it on here too, just saying, um, you have to wrap it with another so that it doesn't get all over the place. What a day. What a day so far. Oh my goodness. I didn't sleep very well last night. Well, Jupiter's stopping or Saturn stopping. Uh we have, of course, the Pluto thing going on. Mars. It's just the heaviness, the chaoticness of the energies and in the world. Now, things are just erupting like crazy. I was watching Lefties Lose It, and they had a an ad for Trumpanol for the lefties. So if you're having breakdowns, you can get some Trumpanol. Thought that was very hilarious. Um, but so much of people just were moving out, um, all kind, just like craziness. What I what I'm looking at, or what I'm seeing, is that somebody's wanting to bring people together, and this is wanting to bring them together. And you got to admit, he's not a religious man, that's for sure. He held a Bible upside down. He probably couldn't even give you a phrase from the Bible or any other, like the Tao, the Buddhism, correct, like whatever. He just knows, when he knows that there's a power larger than he is, right? And that, on that. But the reason why I'm bringing this all up, and it's going to be quite in the news and for some time over the next several months, is that the heaviness of the energies and the intensities, we're going to start feeling it. And this is, again, I'm coming in to let you know, to ground, to make sure that you are, you know watching your own boundaries. I mean, last night at work and the company, I don't want to say my company that I work at, some of you already know, but just in case, whatever. Um, was talking about misappropriation of the product. And she went on about it, and I'm just like, this is, made by the people, this is them, and we're promoting it. They want us, I mean, they hired me, uh, you know, and she goes, "Well, I took a class about it at the university, and about being, about misappropriation." And she went on about this class and, taking people's art, or taking different cultures art, and then taking it as their own and selling it, kind of thing. And I'm just like, yeah, I understand all of that, but I said that's not what they're doing. But it kind of, like, I was getting kind of frustrated with it all, and with her, and it was just sort of working by myself. I was just like trying to keep calm, but luckily some others came in. But that's the thing, is like people are getting so defensive, like, so. And being a Cancer, sometimes it's difficult. Like, I got a Cancer moon and a Cancer rising. Having that part of me has really is part of my life lessons on learning to really understand other people's feelings, and not to engage in those feelings. And, as a, having the Scorpio energy there, is not to get my tail and try and kill them or attack. Come in with the calm, like, try and keep the calm and the peace. But sometimes that frustration really, really gets to you, right? And I feel that's what's happening right now, is that the division within the world, and the division that's happening, is horrendous. What just happened on the streets of Amsterdam is one of the most horrific things that I never thought, never in my lifetime, would see. And especially in a place like, you think the Netherlands, are a progressive country. And this is where, when people talk about misappropriation, or people talk about, stealing things, or stealing my land, or whatever the conversation is, right? Because I know they're touchy conversations. This is where you're seeing what you feel you want to fight for, that misappropriation and everything else. You're seeing in real time, having it be allowed by others coming through. Now, I'm saying this in kind of loose lingo because of, yeah, I mean, I don't get money from any of this shit anyway, so buy me a coffee, please. But it is the rhetoric that's happening right now, that is um going forth, right? And this rhetoric that's happening is a one that is saying, well, you can't do this, but don't look over here, as we're doing, and we're allowing, you know, um, fighting aged men into our country without a family, saying that their family's still wherever, the Middle East, or, and having these terrorists come into our country to be able to do things and to terrorize. Now, for them just going after the Jews, this is just, I'm thinking throughout biblical times, you go into the Old Testament. I mean, the Jews were being tormented because they're called the chosen people. Throughout time immemorial, going back to Abraham, going back through all the different, Babylon, right? All the way back, they were considered the chosen people. And some people like that. Some people get very upset with that, you know, and they have been pushed aside, and then people get mad because all of a sudden they become, you know, they earn money, they do things. Well, that's because, if you want to feed your family and you can't do anything else, all of a sudden they say, well, nobody wants to have the garment district. They're the ones going after the garment district. They'll okay, well, I'll work it. You know, people were complaining that they owned the studios in Hollywood. They don't own the studios. Actually, it's owned, over 80, I think 80% of it's owned by China now. Um, so this is where it's like, when you aren't paying attention to things. I don't know if I'm, and this is where, as a society, where we have to really start looking at our own truth and not losing our truth, not losing um our culture. I understand why Poland's doing what they're doing and Hungary's doing what they're doing, is because they're saying no more. We fought this. We're coming up to Veterans Day. My mother, joined the Canadian Army. I have um my uncles, my American uncles flew. They were in the Air Force. They flew in Europe, right? To fight against the tyranny, to fight against somebody who wanted to genocide a whole people because they were the chosen ones. Now the thing is that with what's happening, it's like it's not just the Jews. It's not just the Jews. No, I'm gonna, say to people, watch those videos. Really. I mean, they're horrific, but this is an eye opener that needs to happen. This is an eye opener that we need to really look at, so it does not repeat itself. Israel right now are sending planes over to Amsterdam, to the Netherlands, to rescue Jewish people and get them the fuck out of there. Like, really. And this is where, I think the world, like other places, need to call them out and say, well, why weren't the police doing anything? Again, I'll go back to the astrology and I'm just like looking at it, I'm just like, Mary, never forget, right, Peppy? Lexi, right? It's never to forget, but we are forgetting. We are forgetting so much. And I know. You guys don't want to hear this. I know this is like, oh, this is just too harsh, mama. We just want love. But to get the love, to get to that, to get to the love, you have to stand up. To get to the love, and I said it before, it's not just kumbaya. It is to know that you have to go into and go forth within a higher power that brings the love, that brings the joy, that allows for people to come together without wanting to kill somebody, right? And that's not what we want. We don't want to go around killing people. They threw them in the fucking river. They were throwing Jews in the river. Like, come on. This is horrific. And you think, and people will turn, well, that's nothing. Oh, well, these are guys who went to a soccer game. Israel was playing, so they went to a soccer game. How dare you? How dare you go and enjoy yourself, right? It's the tyranny of it all. It's horrific. When we forget history, we are doomed to repeat it. Oh, definitely. That's why, the Leo King, he does this very, like, he's like a savant in remembering shit and doing stuff, especially when it comes to the astrology. And I know he can be a little bit hard to handle, just his energy and stuff. But how he can pinpoint, and that's how I learn how to understand the cycles of the planets and how the movements and everything else. And in understanding the cycles of the planets helps you to understand, oh, well, look at this happened in history. Oh, well, look at, okay, if that, oh, wow, this is a reflection to what is happening now. I can see that. So I can see with the craziness that is going on right now and the intensity, we are coming into the intensity of what's gonna start taking off, you know? I know I there was a video on TikTok and the guy said that there will be no World War III. I I can't see it. I cannot see it within the astrology, like, I see it within the astrology, I see that, push and that pull. Maybe it's not, um, the whole the whole world. I mean, not the whole world was in World War II, right? There were countries that were not involved in World War II, or World War One. So there are going to be certain areas that are not going to be involved, or the war is not going to come upon their land, right? But it is going to ignite in other areas of the world, which are going to have huge influence upon how we live, how we interact with people, how we connect with others, right? And that's going to be the whole bit of it. Maybe labeled something different by MSM. Yeah, it's this is the correlation of the things that are unfolding. And as they are unfolding, it is going to be, um, I think, very frustrating for all of us, with everything that's going on. A lot of leaders right now are running scared. I mean, I don't think Putin's running scared. I don't think, uh, you know, North Korea is running scared, but they're not stupid, right? They're understanding the changes that are going to be coming forth. And but I think our prime minister is running scared because of what the implications are going to be coming upon Canada. And that means Canadian they have to start really focusing on, bringing the country together. How can we fix this, right? How can we fix what's going on here? And that's the whole thing. And one of the very first steps in fixing what's going on, and coming from a spiritualist point, is that we got to step in to the God realm. We got to step in and understand that we got to put a trust in a higher power. And in putting that trust in a higher power, and that's what's showing in here too, when we put our trust into that higher power, it's going to help to lead us. It is going to give us that clarity. It's going to help us to really trust within our intuition. Will we be challenged in all of this? Yeah, we're going to be challenged because we are being told, just like we were being told before, take this elixir, you're going to be fine. We're going to be told that over here is okay. They're not bad. They're not bad. And I'm going to say, and this is where last night I had a beautiful woman come in with her husband. They're hilarious and they were funny, and they kind of came in with this woman who was going after me about misappropriation and all this kind of stuff, right? And it was they came in, and she was Canadian Muslim. Very nice, just inquisitive, wanting to know things, and she follows us online, and she owns, all of these things and stuff like that she bought from the store before, and she just loves them. And anyways, having somebody like that come in, I mean, yeah, there's all, these beautiful pockets, and that's what we got to look at and embrace. But there's this this mass energy that has come forth, that we have to rise above and know that we're stronger than it. Because the thing is, the horrible thing is that it's not just the Jewish people that they're going to be going after. They're going to be going after the Christians. They're going to be going after the witches and the pagans. They're going to be going after the astrologers. They're going to be going after the tarot readers. Anybody who's spiritualist or believes in anything different. And this is why coming into that higher power, coming into that divineness, and really putting that intention in, I want to bring in I want to bring in love. I want to bring in creativity. I want to, when my thoughts are becoming negative, I want to change my thoughts, cut, clear, delete, get the fuck out of here, get that fear out and bring in the positivity. How can I change this into this? How can I change my thought from something negative to something positive? And this is going to be something that, especially over the next few months, and as we are going into 2025, going to be something that is very difficult because we are, we might feel that rage inside. We might feel that, oh, I want to, punch them in the face kind of thing come through. But we got to come into this with a higher sense of being. And that's where the power is going to lie, right? Watching some of that horrificness that I was, this morning, that's coming out of Amsterdam. My thoughts and my prayers are with those people. My thoughts and prayers when they chased down this old man. I mean, literally, the guy was in his 80s. They chased him the fuck down and beat the shit out of him. And these were young men in their 20s, right? When you see that, you have to really stand firm and really look at your convictions and your values and your morals and what you are prioritizing and get to the truth of things. Don't just take my word. God forbid, don't take my word. Do your own research, do your own due diligence on this so that you are able to make a decision. So you are able to look at this with an open mind and an open heart to be receptive in order to create what it is that needs to be created. So you are able to allow for the newness and the abundance to make the change, because the truth that comes in and the truth that is being told is not always the truth. There's such darkness and deception out there. And it's wanting to deceive you, and it wants you to make it look good. It's like, when I was the other day, again, I'm being called a racist, and I'm being called, this is where I take people on their individualness, like who you are, and take that, right? And not try. I really try not to group people together. That's a hard one. But it's coming in with a different set of eyes and allowing, more of whatever has been shielding my eyes to see better. You don't want to think ill of other people. You don't want to think, negative thoughts about other people. So you want to change it around, send them a love and light. You can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. So this is where we are heading, and this weekend is going to be quite an intense weekend. We have Saturn just almost stopped, so that clarityness and that sloppiness is all around us. So you might get a little bit muddled, you might get a little bit frustrated, right? So again, coming back to that grounding, because it might be a little bit too much, for you to do things. So you might have to take those time out and stuff. So cultivate the deep trust in your inner voice. That was the other thing I was writing out this morning. Um, and because today's Venus Day, and this is about, as I was doing my studies and that this morning, this is what I got. I'm especially excited to share something close to my heart, crafted just for you. For those moments when life calls you to shift, reclaim, reconnect with the sacred part of yourself. This is what I wish I had been able when I was, moving through the seasons of life. For when we women are navigating the transformations and the mysteries of life, and it is a holy shift. Like, this is where we are coming into listening to our inner knowing. It's telling you something has to or wants to shift, and you feel it. It's time to step into that next chapter and reclaim those pieces. And that's where we're at. And especially as within the divine feminine, it is stepping in and reclaiming those pieces within our heart. allowing ourselves to come into that inner voice, that innerness, that knowingness that we have, and trusting in it. And we are going to be pushed even more to the limit of it than ever before. I was shoot, I saw this TikTok, and I just like watching this girl. The whole it was just she was talking about her cycle, her moon cycle, and getting off the apps of the moon cycle, and then talking about that, women need to pre-order and have plan B on their shelf even though they may not need it, and just a lot of fear mongering, right? A lot of fear mongering. And I'm like, well, okay, hang on here. There's I think it's very I didn't even know how to respond to her, right? Because she was all, the whole pushing of the abortion issue too is another one. And there are times when things have to happen, when a woman has to make a choice. And yeah, and that's usually very early on in the pregnancy, not at the ninth month or or after the baby's born. If you want to give the child up for adoption, wow, that's wonderful and beautiful, and it's a big decision, but not to terminate that child's life, unalive them as they call it. Those are the things that are another issue that's coming in. And this is where, again, this is another fight. This is another, thing that needs to be educated, where in understanding what this is all about and where it all leads to, you know, it's that demonic side that is rising and it's making its ugly head known. And this is where, again, we got to come back and cultivate a deep trust within our inner voice, to cultivate that, to come back to that place, to come back to that inner place, so we can really connect with our true divineness, so that we can connect with the higher power of our God. And in doing so, that we are able to be able to walk with those shields, calling in Archangel Michael to have him set his shield and his sword around us, so that we're able to step forward and be strong. So we're heading into some crazier times, right? Crazier times. Let me pull some cards out for you guys. I hope I made sense. Sometimes I just ramble on. I don't even know, like, did I make sense? Because I'm not listening to what I like. I'm sort of listening to what I'm saying, but I'm hearing spirit talk to me and having us, to rise, you know. And this is about being peaceful. This is not about being radical and crazy and stuff like that. This isn't about that. This is about being peaceful. This is about sending love into our world. This is where it's at. That higher, when people talk about the eighth dimension or whatever dimension, whatever, this is about, and this is what I see. It's like us putting our, hands, touching the ground and putting our hands into the ground, and from our fingers this stream of light comes out of our fingers and into the world, and we send out that love, we send out that pulsation. And that's what we're to do, is that we're here to send out that pulsation. We're here to gather, we're here to come together in circle, and as we gather here in circle, that we gather in prayer, that we gather in meditation, and we send out those prayers to the world, to our families and to ourselves. And in sending them out back, especially to ourselves, it allows us to be able to give us that inner strength to step forward in times of turmoil and strife, and when we are seeing so much hatred, you know and that's it's just, I finding out what happened in, it makes me want to cry. It really does. And I want to bring forth so much love, right, into the world. My husband says, "Oh, you should be a politician." No, because I would go and kill somebody if I was a politician. I wouldn't be a good politician. I really wouldn't. Or I would get myself killed. I'd probably get shot. Oh. All right. Have a sip of coffee. I did bring out one Christmas mug. I haven't changed anything in the house. Oh, this is what I did get. Because the changeover for Starbucks happened yesterday. So I got my first, and I got it for free. I got my first little Christmas one. I have, and they're dated, right? So on the bottom of this, if I took it out, it would have the date, 2024, right? So, yeah. So that went up there. But I got that for free because I had points. So I used my points. But as I said, if you want to buy me a coffee, you guys, you can buy me a coffee. And man, I've been thinking about the moon readings will be coming out this week, probably on Monday, Tuesday. They're going to come out a little early. And then in your moon readings, just an FYI, in your moon readings, you're going to have a month report, right? I'm working on whoever ordered their moon readings for the year. I'm working on your yearly report for next year. So that's what I'm working on. So everybody who's ordered a moon reading for this year, you're going to end up with a written of what next year, the alignments and stuff for next year for you. So I'll have that written out for you guys. So I've been working on that. I'm not just a pretty face. So I have that in the works, and you'll be receiving that in December, probably closer to the end of December. So you guys will be receiving that. And I know a couple of you have said, is it true? Is it true? Is it true you won't be doing moon readings next year? At this time, I haven't. I feel like I'm kind of being pulled to do them, like because I love the new way I'm doing them, with writing things out and sending them, and then just doing a short little video of a reading. I really like that. So the moon readings would be for the whole year of the readings, which will be the new moon and full moon readings for the year. And if people are interested in it, and the people who have been, just let me know. So, and then I can look into a price. I have a price in my head, but I just want to, make sure there's enough people who are interested in them. Okay. Because what's nice about it is that you do get a recording twice a month from me. First reading, the Hierophant, of course, and it's 5. So in comes the Hierophant, and the 5 is change. So change and transformation comes in with 5. This is a card of the higher one, the religious one, right? Now, there it is. So it is Taurus, hematite, lapis lazuli, and Lemurian quartz are the ones for here. So this is the one for spiritual strength and spiritual self. So looking for that guidance. Lemurian quartz is really beautiful. So is lapis lazuli. I love lapis lazuli. So if you want to connect to that higher self, bringing in that higher energy. And I would even look into, I got geranium coming in, and if you can get even rose essential oil is really beautiful to really connect with. Mateus, go change your clothes. Mateus has no school today. So that is a really beautiful connection. So, oopsie. There we go. And having that. There you go. And then we have, see, connecting to the higher self, because then we get the 8 of swords, feeling that entrapment, feeling, like everything's falling apart. Like this one is like, yeah, you can still sort of go forward, but then I still feel like there's an entrapment, and without spirit, without the guidance of community, without the guidance of spiritual wisdom, knowledge, education, you're going to feel this. This is where it's going to be like, oh, well, I can't go on. I can't do this. This is way too much for me. Yet the 8 of swords comes in and really wants to help to guide us, to free us, and free us from whatever entraps us. So this is also about accepting our state, of what is happening. So we look around in our world and we have to accept this is the way it is right now. Things are in shambles, things are crazy, there's shitty things that are going on. And this is where we need to learning from the past mistakes, traumas, and circumstances, connecting with our higher selves in order to allow ourselves to forgive. And that's what I got, like the forgiveness of sins, right? Forgive our sins, forgive our past, our shadow, however you want to describe it. And the need to process those emotional blockages in order to make the positive change. But the only way you can do that, this isn't about you doing it all on your own. If anybody goes to AA and stuff like that, you're not doing that shit on your own. You have somebody, you have a sponsor, you have somebody there that helps to guide you. Even in AA, they tell you that there is a higher power, a higher self. So trusting in that higher self, trusting in that higher power is the way that you are going to be able to get through things. When we're seeing the horrors and the traumas that are going on in the other parts of the world, or even in our own backyard, this is where we have to trust in God, trust in that higher power, that we are being led to a place that is really going to give us that sanctuary, because it's going to feel like a hellhole. Even though the light is there, but we're focusing on this. So again comes this. This is going to be the guiding light to get you through. Get you through today, get you through this weekend. This is where you got to trust in that guiding light. It's going to get you through. And as you do this, there's going to be challenges along the way. It's not going to be easy. This is going to be where there's going to be shit that's going to be happening around us. But in those challenging times, we have to trust. How are you rising from the stress? What are you doing to help yourself to get through this? How are you manifesting your energy? How are you creating? What are your thoughts? Right? Looking at your thoughts. What are you putting out into your world? Are you thinking I'm destitute and oh woe is me, instead of looking around saying, oh, the abundance is all around me. I am filled with joy. There's joy and love wherever I look. And it could be the water that's flowing by. It could be, many other things that are going on, but you got to find those little nuggets, right? And finding those little nuggets is what's going to get you through and help you to connect with that higher self. Because the thing is that, are you projecting the fears into your reality? As you turn on and you see the shit that's going on in the world, and you see the craziness and the meltdowns that people are having, oh, those are just funny things to watch. But when you are seeing the traumas, this is where it's like, okay, I'm going to send that love, because out of that chaos, out of that craziness is something beautiful that's going to be born. And that's awareness, that's awakening, in order for people to actually see truth. And you need that in order for people to wake the fuck up. There you go, people. Let me know if you are still wanting to do the moon readings for 2025, and we will put a package together for people for 2025. So sending you out so much love. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you and all you say and all you do. Question everything. Do your research. Don't take anybody's word for it. And trust in your heart and your guidance from your divine. God bless and the goddess bless you. Bye-bye, everyone.
You want more coffee? I just did some there if you want some.
Okay.
I just